Heyo, OmniDogs and OmniKittens. It's OmniDog here from OmniDog's Vault with part 3, the final part of the Secret Wars ties in Battleworld and Warzones. Okay, I'm exhausted. For 3 weeks, I've done nothing but read these books. There's like 40 of them, and I think I read like 30 or 35 of them. That's a lot of Battleworld and Warzone books to read. Was it worth it? I think so, because a lot of them were really good. My advice to you is to either listen to some of my recommendations or pick your favorite writer, pick your favorite characters, and get the books that way. Or just wait, because since I bought all these books, there's probably going to be an omnibus announced in 2 months. So you'll probably get them all for less than half of what I paid. So these are the Secret Wars ties in Battleworld, Warzones, and the first one I'm reviewing, and I have a lot of them actually. I've got about 10 of them, so it's just going to be a quick review and a quick letter grade. So this is not a 30-minute video. No one wants to listen to me for 30 minutes, not even my wife. Angela 1602, Witch Hunter Angela. So Warzone's book where Angela is in 1602 England as a witch hunter going against the Faustians, who have the Enchantress as their lead. So there's a lot of cool occult stuff in here, a lot of witchcraft, very beautiful art, as you can see. This is by Marguerite Bennett, who's one of my favorite writers, and I think she did a very good job on this. I'm giving this a B plus. I found it highly enjoyable. That is this book. The next one is for you Spidey fans out there. Warzone's Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows. Peter Parker has a wife, Mary Jane. They also have a kid. And they are in New York where they have a godlike ruler of New York called the Regent, and all kinds of mayhem ensues. But the daughter has some powers too, and there's lots of guest stars in this book. Who wrote this? Dan Slott. Well, he knows Spider-Man. So I think if you're a Spidey fan, you'll dig this. I haven't read Spider-Man in years, and I read a lot of Spider-Man, and I know that's my fault. I need to catch up on Dan Slott's Spider-Man. I need to do all kinds of things. This book was good. It's got all kinds of guest stars in it, all kinds of extra spiders in it. I very much enjoyed this book. I thought it was cool. So, and here's what happens when you get a damaged book from IST. Sometimes it comes damaged. Quote, damaged. This wouldn't bother me a bit, but it would bother some people. But sometimes you do get a damaged book. Big deal. I still love IST. And it's not like, I mean, I bought it from the damage section, so that's what I was expecting. Damages. Speaking of damages, Planet Hulk. There's some damage done in this book. This book was really cool. It features Steve Rogers riding Devil Dinosaur. Let me get a picture of that. Steve Rogers riding Devil Dinosaur into the Greenland where Hulks rule. There's a red Hulk that rules there called the Red King. And he thinks Bucky is there and wants to save Bucky. He's been sent by Lord Doom. And he meets up with Doc, what's his name? Doc Green, who is his only ally there in Greenland, a world run by Hulks of various natures, especially the Red King. And it's got some good twists in it. It's got Steve Rogers riding Devil Dinosaur facing off with a bunch of Thors. This was a good book. I give this an A minus. I really love this book. Here's a book that I thought I was going to hate. I do not I do not particularly care for Marvel Zombies. I have no idea why I own the Zomnibus. I'm sure I'm going to sell it in the near future. The whole Marvel Zombies thing I don't dig. But this book solid read. It's an Elsa Bloodstone book, and it features lots of zombie killing. She ends up on the wrong side of the shield and out in the zombie world. She runs across a little kid, gender we're not sure, and she's far from home. She gets teleported far from the shield and is dealing with, we get a lot of backstory on her father and her upbringing and what it's like to be a Bloodstone. And she's dealing with reasonably intelligent zombies. There's Deadpool strung up and they slice his brain out periodically to eat it. I know, gruesome, right? But I got to tell you, I was expecting nothing from this, and I got everything from this. I loved this book. This book gets an A from me. Marvel Zombies, big surprise to me. Another book that I read, one of the last books I read, and I'll be honest, I was sick of these books by the time I got to the end of it. But this book surprised me. It was really, really good. Hail Hydra. Hydra is in charge of New York City. Now, it's hard to explain. On Battleworld, there's like 10 different New York cities. This particular New York City, Hydra has always been in charge. And it gets the introduction of Nomad into it. Ian Rogers, Steve Rogers' son, in this book. And there's Captain Hydra, and there's a rebellion that forms. Venom works for Hydra, and if you're a fan of Hydra at all, if you're a fan of Nomad at all, it features a couple of different versions of Steve Rogers. I think you'd like this book. This was a surprise to me. I was thinking, Hail Hydra, big deal, whatever. It was actually pretty good. I really liked it, so I'm going to give this a B+. Okay, if you like your spiders, here's the book for you, Spiderverse. Not only do you have Spider-Gwen, Spider-Man, the British Spider-Man, the Indian Spider-Man, Spider-Girl, or wait, is that, yeah, Spider-Girl. It's also got Spider-Ham. And they're all battling Norman Osborn, who has evil intentions. That's all I'll say. They all fight separately. They've all been pulled from different worlds. They're trying to figure out what they're doing there, but they band together to fight Norman Osborn. I like this a lot, and I'm not, even though Spider-Man's the most popular character in Marvel, well, that's subjective. Even though he is one of the most popular characters in Spider-Man, in Marvel, I haven't read him probably since the 70s, to be honest. I used to really love him. So these books were like my big taste of Spider-Man. Besides Superior Spider-Man, I did read that. So there's Spider-Ham right there. And if you're a fan of Spider-Man, you will love this book. Lots of spiders, great action, well written. Who's it written by? Costa. Not familiar with him and or her. Mike Costa. I'm sure he's written everything cool that I just don't know about. So Spiderverse, you'll dig it. I gave it a B. Top-notch book, Siege. This thing is cool. It figures. It figures. I'm goofing. It features what it's like to live on the shield. The shield is what protects everything from all the zombies and all the bad things out there. People are constantly trying to break into the shield, and there are people on the shield, kind of like the White Wall or whatever. The wall in Game of Thrones protects those lands. I've only seen one season of Game of Thrones, so I barely know what I'm talking about. But it's the wall that protects civilization, all 8 billion civilizations, from the zombies and everything else. So this is one of my favorite books. I really enjoyed this. It features lots of people. Kang, and it features, wait, what's her name? Commander Abigail Brand and her unlikely allies, including Ms. America, the Bowslinger Lady Catherine, Kang, Leah, the Endless Summers, which is very interesting, and Leonardo da Vinci. They're all part of her gang that try and protect everything on the wall, and there's constant breaches all the time. Now, the interesting thing about this book is it pulls some very old characters. Here's a beautiful two-page spread. It pulls characters that are old Marvel characters, and you may not be familiar with. I wasn't familiar with them, but helpfully there's a issue, um, two issues of X-Men in this book that give you background on who some of these characters are. Read this first, then read the rest of Siege. You'll understand. Those of you X-Men fans, you'll know everything that's going on that's in this book. Those of you normal people out there, I'm just kidding. You'll need to read the backup features in this book, and then you will get a more fully realized experience from it. This gets an A from me. Years of Future Past. I thought I was going to hate this book too. I thought, oh, another X-Men book. Come on, you guys. But it was actually really good. It had some good, solid twists in it. It features mutants. It's a take on Days of Future Past. And it's just told in a different way, but it features some really good twists and some surprises in it, where the X-Men are battling for freedom, of course. Any X-Men fan is probably going to dig this. I have very medium knowledge of X-Men. Check out these word bubbles. Holy smoke. There's some word bubbles for you. Who's this by? This is by Marguerite Bennett again. I will say it does have a lot of word bubbles in it. But it was very well written. I really liked it for an X-Men book. And I give this a solid B+. If you're a fan of the X-Men, you should get it. Last but not least, oh, nope, I got two more. Red Skull. Red Skull wants to take down Doctor Doom. And he has a bunch of Battleworld rejects, including Winter Soldier, Magneto, and Lady Deathstrike, sent to find proof. Okay, wait, I messed up. The Red Skull is presumed dead, but as his legend grows, a team of Battleworld rejects, including Winter Soldier, Magneto, and Lady Deathstrike, are sent on a dangerous odyssey to find proof that he's dead. Also in this is, I believe, Crossbones as a... Let me double check. I'm pretty sure it's Crossbones. Yeah, I don't want to finish the I don't want to spoil it, but it's got Crossbones in it, and it is really cool. I was sure I was going to hate this book. There's no Captain America in this book, but there's Marvel Zombies, Ultrons, and the Annihilation Wave, and it features a lot of Red Skull and has a great ending. Surprised the heck out of me. So I give this a solid B. Then we have, finally, the last book, Captain Marvel and the Carol Corps. This is by a writer whom I like, and I seem to be the only person in America that likes her besides her husband. That's Kelly Sue DeConnick. I stand by my like for her books. So there. If you don't like Kelly Sue DeConnick, you won't like this book. If you don't like Captain Marvel, you won't like this book. But if you like Kelly Sue DeConnick and you like Captain Marvel, this is full of girl power. She has tons of allies in her corps that are female. And she is, she's got really cool powers in this book. She's got, they've got pilots that can fly and fly alongside her that go into battle. And it's got very nice art in it. And I thought it was a good book. I enjoyed it. It features Captain Marvel smacking down one of the Thors. And if I'm not mistaken, the Thor, yeah, there's a twist. Okay, I don't want to show you the twist. But Carol Danvers has her Carol Corps, and they go into battle. There's Thors. There's a great twist in it, and I dug it. I give it a B. Captain Marvel and the Carol Corps. Holy smoke. I'm done. This is how many books I've read. I've read this stack. I've read this stack. And I've read this stack. So, there you go. Battleworlds and Warzones. I took the bullet so you don't have to. If any of those sound good to you, go ahead and get them. If they don't, it's not like you're there's some really good stories in there, but if you decide to avoid the whole thing, your life will go on. Things will be cool. But what the heck? This one was really good. And of course, where's MODOK? Come here, MODOK. Come here, MODOK. Where are you? Where are you? Wherever MODOK is, that is a book you have to go out and get. MODOK Assassin. Just read that. If for anything you take out of my videos, get MODOK Assassin. The best of them all. Thank you for tuning in. Please like and subscribe me if you can. Leave comments. I always respond. Peace and love. Peace and love.